Have you ever tried looking for someone to do Web3 associated work? Not only is it hard to find talent, it's even harder to find talent that fits a budget. This new Web3 world is ripe with opportunity for those who want to build a career. Bondex is attempting to solve the problem of decentralized hiring by turning everyone into a recruiter. And by gamifying the process, they make it more interesting for those seeking jobs and those referring friends to the platform. Today, we'll welcome the CEO of Bondex to the show to discuss the future of hiring. Having a hard time getting a job with that art history degree that cost you a couple hundred large? Maybe it's time you learn to code on episode number 603 of the Bad Crypto Podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition.
Who's bad?
And hello, friends. Welcome to the show. After a short break due to some family matters, your favorite blockchain blockheads are right here into Hizzle. I'm Joel Comm, and that, with the super sexy Bad Crypto Podcast sweatshirt on, is Sir Lord, the most reverend, most high, most esteemed, most person that I'm talking to right now, Travis Wright, Esquire, the third.
Apostle of humility.
Yes. How are you, good sir?
No one's more humble than me, I can assure you of this. I'm the best of humility. How to be a recruiter. Is that what you were doing there?
Well, you know, I read an article, like people were talking about the money that people are spending on different degrees these days. And
Right.
Some of them, and then they get out of college and are like, I can't find a job. So I put, I went and looked up what are the most useless degrees is what I searched for on DuckDuckGo. Yeah. And I put the link in the show notes. I'll show it to you right now because it's kind of funny. CareerAddict.com has them. The number one is culinary arts, because really hard to find the right job. Fashion design, art history, music, biology, communications, liberal arts, studio arts and fine art, performing arts, anthropology and archaeology, ethnic studies, journalism, philosophy, travel and tourism, advertising, international studies, film, video production, criminal justice, computer science, and child and family studies. Not to say that many of these, they're the jobs that one would get could certainly be worthwhile, right? We need biologists, but in terms of needing a degree to do many of these things, for example, culinary arts, your time and money may be better spent in a kitchen rather than the classroom. So make me a sandwich.
Make me a sandwich. I love that. I say that all the time. So what about useful degrees? So here are good ones now. Now on one list I just read, computer science, it said was a useless degree. On this one, it says it's very useful. So take lists and use them to wipe your ass with, because sometimes that's what lists are best for. Biomedical engineering, you could become a bioweapons engineer and work in one of those nice labs around the world that the CIA has created. Marine engineering, pharmaceutical scientists, we need people to create brand new vaccines that we can poison us with. Computer engineering, electrical engineering, finance, software engineering, civil engineering, a lot of engineering. That's some real thing. Applied mathematics, statistics, NFTology, cryptology, tokenomics, none of which are degrees. None of those are physics.
Not a thing. Well, listen, if you're looking for a job, you might be pursued by headhunters, or if you're wanting to help place some people to do work in the Web3 world, it can be very challenging. We have not had a sponsored crypto spotlight on the show in a while, and these folks, we have tons of people reaching out to us. You should see our inboxes. There are so many projects that want to be on the show, most of them I turn away because we just, I don't want it to be pay for play on this show. We don't even do many sponsorships, but this one showed up, and it's called Bondex. And I love the fact that they have already got 250,000 people signed up and registered for this app, which is already downloadable. You can already go get this on Google Play and in the iOS store. I'm like, these guys are serious. They're building something serious, real, that has practical application. And so the interview you're about to hear is a sponsored crypto spotlight. We have been compensated with tokens. We believe enough in what they're doing that we said, yep, you can come on. Let's talk about this. We like what you're doing. We are not providing financial advice, and there are no recommendations from us to invest in this project. We would just recommend that you listen and go do your own due diligence. Check out their site, check out their app, see what you think for yourself. And if you like what you see, then go deeper.
Yeah, I had some people just the other day, somebody was messaging me and they said, so how can I earn money in crypto when I don't have any money? Like, what can I do? And then it's like, well, you can be a creative, you can create your own NFTs, you can learn skills, you can level up your skills is what I would focus on. If you don't have a lot to do, there's so many inexpensive ways to grow your skill base. Now, here's a way you can introduce other people for some of these jobs potentially and make yourself some kickbacks and then leverage that, buy some shit coins with your shit coins and level it up. I mean, if you're clever and you're diligent and you're willing to work a little bit and think outside the box, you can make money in this space. And then you start with this right here, man. You're going to find out that there's an opportunity for you to literally be somewhat of a referrer to recruiters and earn some cryptos in the process. How about we listen to the interview, Sir Lord Joel Comm?
Let's do it. If you've spent any time at all on LinkedIn, odds are you've gotten a message from a recruiter wanting to know if you would be interested in some sort of position or job with a firm that they are headhunting for. And of course, headhunters get paid when they successfully place somebody in a job. What if there was a way to decentralize and democratize finding talent on both sides of the equation, both on the employer and the employee side? Well, Bondex intends to do exactly that, and they're already on their way. This is not something in the making. This is happening. We have with us the co-founder and CEO of Bondex, Ignacio Palomera. And welcome, good sir, to the Bad Crypto Podcast.
Super excited to be here. Thank you for having me, guys. And we're essentially Web3 talent infrastructure to help all the ecosystem build the world-class teams they need to actually make Web3 a reality. And the idea is to decentralize hiring by turning everyone into a recruiter. So
Travis, you're a recruiter now. Go find me some people.
That's great. Actually, back in, I would say 2011, 2012, was working with a team to create something called Retweet Jobs, which was something similar where it's like you could leverage in your network. And if they got a job that you had recommended to them from your link, then maybe they would get some funds. And it's an interesting model because, in some cases, what's the going rate for a recruiter if someone's salary is like 20-30%, right?
That's right, of their yearly salary, which is, pretty brutal. And now that there's a labor shortage and, widening skills gap for knowledge workers, they're taking advantage of it and milking it even more.
Right. Yeah. So that's pretty crazy. So when somebody say you're an employer and you're looking specifically for Web3 jobs, is that what that's set up? So metaverse, NFTs, DeFi, GameFi, play to earn type of businesses?
You got it. So it's across all the verticals, right? It's probably the fastest growing industry in the world. And right now it's a fantastic opportunity for everyone or anyone to start a career in Web3 because the supply of talent is low and the demand and funding for jobs and talent is here. So if you develop these skills in Web3 or you use your existing skills, you're an accountant that you go to work in an NFT company, you're probably going to get pretty well compensated right now. So, it's the time to work on the cutting edge and be at the frontier of Web3.
The website is bondex.app, bondex.app, and there's a site for it, but there's actually an application that's live in the App Store and in Google Play right now that you can grab. But I'm looking here, you've already got 770,000 users, like real people.
Yeah, that's right. So, and it's pretty global. I think a third is US and Europe, a third Asia, a third the rest of the world. So this started as an experiment. We wanted to see, would people be interested in a tokenized and gamified professional network? That's how it all started. So, our approach was a bit more traditional. We come from traditional finance, the founding team, and we thought, what if we have a user base and we do community market fit? So we released the app, and the network effects and the growth were, greater than we ever imagined. And so, yeah, we're there, and the engagement is also fantastic. I think we have around 500,000 monthly active users and 150,000 daily active users. And it's a beta application. It's not got crazy functionality yet, but we'll be coming up with version 2 in the next month, which I'm very excited about.
It is very interesting. So you guys have the Bondex token, and that's the BNDX. That's your native currency. It's a governance and utility token. You want to maybe tell us about what does the token do, and how does it work within your ecosystem?
So the idea is to enable, a more efficient talent market, right? Right now, you have a lot of gatekeepers or middlemen that essentially extract a lot of rents, and they extract way more value than they provide, right? So the idea of tokenizing it is making it more efficient and more peer-to-peer and streamlined, right? So the idea here is that the token will enable it to be a meritocracy and also align the incentives of the different, basically roles that you have in a talent market, from the recruiters, the users, and the individual talent, and the employers. And the idea is to kind of level the playing field. So that's the idea essentially. So through earning and staking mechanisms, you're either staking your tokens, for example, to make a referral, that's to disincentivize spam and guarantee high quality. Or if you're a user, for example, for validating your skill set by taking a HackerRank test, for example, or validating your credentials, or referring more users, the more value that you add, the more that you earn essentially. So that's the idea of our token economy essentially.
I've downloaded the Bondex Origin app right here, and I filled out my profile. I am the CEO of Fun here in Puerto Rico. And so next step is I need to get verified and add my experience. So as an employer, if I want to find somebody in here, what do I do?
So that's the next step. So that's the stage that we're in now as a company. We're actually going to be launching a significant seed round with our lead VC actually in the next week. And the next stage is actually launching a job portal. And we've signed up some pretty cool companies, the likes of Solana, Clover Finance, Kyber Network, Uniland. Serotonin's coming on board soon, as well as BlockFi, for example. So they're basically our beta clients and our partners. And so we're going to release a job portal with them. So that's the next step. That's the next kind of phase of the company. It's starting to provide this user base that we have with the best opportunities we can get them in Web3.
So, because I just looked on like CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, like where is it on, like Dex Tools? Where can people learn about this? Is the token not out yet?
No, the token's not out. We actually kind of did a non-traditional approach when it comes to crypto. Again, we're kind of come from traditional finance, private equity, and our approach was more, let's bring value in a working platform, and then we'll have a token generation event. So we're actually not planning on listing anytime soon. Again, right now it's about, we've done the first building block, which is a global user base of talent, right? Now we're going to provide them jobs. So we have a two-sided marketplace. Then we have the bounty referrals, which enables basically decentralizing recruiters and turning everyone into a recruiter. And then we'll have a token generation event or an IEO, and our user base will likely be in the millions at that point. So
I really like that. So many
one.
businesses, they go and they do the raise first and say, this is what we're going to do. And I don't know of anybody else that intentionally built 1 million, registered users before doing the IEO, if the intent was to eventually do an IEO. So kudos for that. It's really great to prove yourself before asking, for money from the public. So you guys have a bunch of partners on board already for the portal. I see Solana, BlockFi, Anchor, Kyber Network, Clover Finance, Recurve, MeanDAO. Is that like Mean Girls? I don't know. Eternity, Fortunify. There's probably more that are coming your way. It seems like you're positioning yourself to really dominate this particular space.
So yeah, I think we're very lucky. Some of these are incoming, some of them are signed and sealed, and they're essentially giving us a chance and taking a chance on us. I think no one has all the answers yet when it comes to talent behaviors and careers in Web3, but it's a massive opportunity. And with that said, I think we have a head start, but that's certainly going to be competition, but we have a head start. And I think the goal is to corner the market in the next year and become not just the hub for all the existing Web3 professionals, but also a Web3 bridge or Web 2.5 bridge to bring more people from traditional industry and Web2 to become a Web3 professional. That's the idea.
Maybe can you break down the categories of the type of talent? I mean, right now it's kind of like a soup of all these different skills, but you guys clearly are going to have it organized where people can find what they're looking for. So how are you going to break that down? What are the primary talents that people need to be looking for Web3?
So this has been informed completely by our partners and how we've been starting to getting to know them and kind of check their needs. Obviously, technology is a big one because Web3 is obviously, it's a technology and innovation based industry. So that's a big one. But actually, Web3 companies are in need of everything that a traditional startup needs to succeed. And they're having a harder time finding them than normal industry just because the technology is more recent. And there's not that many people that have 5-10 years of skills and knowledge in blockchain or Web3. I mean, NFTs really are what, 2 years old, really, right? So how many professionals are you going to find with those skills? So you need accountants, sales, business development, marketing. You need everything you need for a normal company and startup. You need in Web3. So it's actually going to be very diverse in terms of skill sets. But then you get to go into something even more interesting in Web3, which is what I want to call it side missions, right? Beyond your 9 to 5, Web3 is very community driven, right? There's DAOs, there's gaming guilds, there's NFT communities, right? Why shouldn't all this be part of your professional persona? If you think about it, a resume is completely obsolete, right? It's just a static view of what someone's done. It doesn't tell me what they're passionate about. It doesn't tell me what communities are a part of, what they're contributing to, what projects, the feedback from other people that they're participating with, right? So if I collect all of these things, I get much more real signals about someone's capability and potential when I'm evaluating them as a candidate. So that's really the true vision of Bondex.
So I'm looking here. It looks like that you have partnered, or are you built on Internet Computer? Because we're big fans of Internet Computer over here. We think they've done a lot of great stuff. What is your relationship with Internet Computer, and how does it work within your Bondex ecosystem?
So it's actually not ready yet. Our idea is to use them as our storage, essentially. At the moment, we're actually, we went from Firebase to AWS, and now we're progressively going into more decentralized storage. So that's the idea, to use as much decentralized infrastructure as you can. But believe it or not, there's a lot of things that have yet to be built, and some technology on that front needs to catch up.
But the goal here is to be across as many different chains as possible, right? This is to be able to help people no matter where they're building.
This has to be completely multi-chain to succeed. Something that we've encountered as we've done business development with the layer ones. There's a bit of like a war of the layers, I would call it, right? They're all competing very hard with each other. A lot of them have massive war chests now, and their approach to talent and converting people into their ecosystem is like divide and conquer. They're all out to themselves, but really there needs to be a hub that converts and evangelizes for Web3 professionals and helps them all out. So that's what we're trying to convince them in. It's like, come into Bondex and unite your efforts of attracting more professionals on one front versus just everyone separately.
So I'm a headhunter, right? I'm this dude on LinkedIn, and I'm looking for professionals. Now with Bondex, this makes it so that anybody can become a headhunter, right? What does that look like from a dude that wants to get paid to help place people and find the right talent for Web3 jobs?
So when we say decentralized hiring and disintermediated, I don't mean I want to get rid of recruiters. I want to basically have strong reputational mechanisms so that the good recruiters, are kind of there. But then I want to disintermediate the recruiting agency. Even when a good recruiter, makes a fee or makes a sale, I mean, most of the money goes to the agency that he works on, right? What if he could independently do it? On one side, the employer is going to have a bounty referral, which is much lower than that 30% he has to pay for someone, right? And on the other side, the person that makes the correct referral ends up taking most of that bounty, right? And I mean, he can get more volume, and that way also you unleash, the name of the game is gamification, tokenization, and then breaking Dunbar's number with network effects. So Dunbar's number is that cognitively humans are only able to handle meaningful relationships with about 150 people, right? At the same time. If you go within those 150 people, how many would you vouch for in terms of them professionally, their skills, their knowledge, that you would say, oh, they would do a good job for X, you would recommend them? It's even lower, right? So if you turn these referral programs, which are commonplace in a lot of companies today, and they're one of the most effective tools that they have to hire. I think they're something like 55% faster than using a traditional recruiter, the internal referral programs. If you turn those outward, but then we have a staking mechanism in which you have to stake your Bondex tokens to make a referral. That disincentivizes spam and makes sure that when you actually recommend someone, you really mean it. You know, you have some skin in the game. And that's how we're basically creating a peer-to-peer disintermediary talent marketplace, the first of its kind.
You know, I think I've only seen one other business attempt this. It's you might be familiar with it. It's called Hire Vibes. Have you heard of them?
I haven't heard of them, but there's, you know, I think the talent market and the labor market is so large, and its size is only matched by its complexity. So it's not a winner takes all market, and it's going to shape some forms.
Tons of opportunity. I get tired of hearing ZipRecruiter ads, you know, on podcasts all the time. So it would be nice to hear about Bondex ads as well. Just a little aside here, I see that you've got a background in entertainment media, and in particular you are a huge film buff. So I have to ask you, what have you seen recently that is a must see?
At the movie theater, well, I'm very excited about The Northman, which I think is going to be released soon. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for that, but that looks extremely exciting. In terms of things that I've seen this year, so to give you a bit of background, I attempted a blockchain company in 2018, pivoted to artificial intelligence. Then I got into a private equity that invested in film. So, you know, financing things like Rocket Man and The Last Man in Black. Learned a lot about the process, was in competitive processes to finance, for example, the Gucci movie that just came out, and for example, Ferrari, which we didn't end up getting into, but I've left to kind of found Bondex and left my film career behind. But, you know, I actually don't get to go to the movie theater as much as I used to.
Well, who goes to the theater? Like we
really
stream
busy.
everything. We just, you know, there's no reason to go to the theater. I honestly don't miss the actual experience of being in the theater, you know, with some dude chomping popcorn behind you and they're talking, and you know, I've got a 60-inch screen here. That's his theater, and I could turn it up as loud as I want and nobody bothers me. So, and I get to pet my dog at the same time.
I think it depends on the film. Some films are meant for the big screen. Some films are even better at home. I think it just depends on what you're watching, right? Like I don't Godzilla versus Kong. I kind of want to see that in you know, the big screen the first time, right? It all depends on, I think, genre and a lot of different factors. But I'm excited about the entertainment industry, and you know, it's very resilient and adaptive. I mean, what they've been able to withstand during the pandemic has been great.
You have nothing to do with the movie industry unless the movie industry is wanting to get you guys to hire some people to work on a movie through Bondex. Great stuff. Is there any other stuff out there, my dude, that we should know about, or people should know about Bondex that we maybe don't know to ask?
I mean, what I would say is that, right, the mission as well is a real use case of Web3 in the real world, right? I think you see a lot of companies in crypto that sometimes I find it hard to understand the business model and how this is going to make money apart from speculation on a token, right? Like there's a very clear business model. It's also democratizing talent, because when you're using LinkedIn as a user, right, you are the product, your data is the product, it's been monetized. What you're getting is what you think is a free product, but really, you know, you are it essentially. And they've neglected the user experience, and they just care about who they're charging, which is the employers. That's why it's really only an effective tool for the demand side of things. Those employers, the recruiters, those are the ones that really get something out of it. But we believe that you know, a network's value is derived from its users. So why shouldn't they get a piece of the pie? Why shouldn't it be a meritocracy? The more value you add to the network, the more you own of it. And then you should also be monetizing your network. So you guys are saying you've made tons of referrals and you haven't been able to monetize them or really earn a reward, when that's actually incredibly valuable. There's headhunters out there charging 30% of that person's salary a year. Why shouldn't you actually be incentivized that way? So it's just incredibly exciting. And I think, you know, for example, for Gen Zs and the younger generation, a network partly owned by its users in a meritocracy, it's much better than what you have with the incumbent talent platforms that we're going to take on eventually. So the idea is first to figure this out in Web3, and then go tackle, you know, compete head on with LinkedIn.
Excellent. Well, the website, once again, bondex.app is where you guys want to go. You can go into the app stores and download the app or find the links there on the website. Ignacio, do your friends call you Iggy?
Depends on where in the world, but yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to call you Iggy because I think it's a cool name. It makes me think of Iggy Pop, who's a legend. So thanks for coming on today, and we wish you guys the very best.
No, thank you for having me, guys. It's been fantastic, and I look forward to seeing this out.
So there you go, Bondex.app, and I am going to affectionately refer to Ignacio Palomera as Iggy P from heretofore, because I think it's a great nickname.
But he's Iggy P.
No, he's Iggy P. Yeah, he's not the other Iggy Pop. He's an old rocker. Is he still alive? Is Iggy Pop still alive?
Iggy Pop's still alive. Yeah, I don't think Iggy Pop and Keith Richards, they're gonna live forever.
If anybody made a deal with the devil, like I will sell you my soul for immortality, but I will have no soul, then might be these guys.
If I was going to sell my soul, it would have to be through an NFT fractional ownership.
I bet somebody's tried that already.
Has somebody tried that yet?
I would
fractionalized selling of
fractionalized soulage. So we got some great content coming your way. A couple new reviews I just discovered on our iTunes. The first one is a 5-star review from Kelman 55, knowledgeable on crypto, but not politics. These guys are funny, interesting, and highly knowledgeable when it comes to crypto. I've been listening since 2017, and I wouldn't be involved in crypto without the information you dudes provide. So thank you. But for real, you two should avoid discussing anything related to politics because you're simply wrong. I say this with love and corn. Good day. So you know what I love about this guy? He's not going because he disagrees with us. He's learned a lot from the show. He gave us a 5-star review, and he gave his opinion, his criticism, which of course, thank you for showing us the light, and everything we've said before we now disown because clearly we're wrong. We're
that's funny. I'll have an announcement about some stuff. So there's some people out there who like my conspiracy theories and my rants, so much so that I might be getting a bigger platform here eventually. We'll be talking about that down the road.
Is it really a conspiracy theory if it comes true, though?
I don't know, man. If so, my batting average is really high. Like I would be a Hall of Famer if my batting average in conspiracies translated into the sports ball.
You're a Hall of Famer in my book.
Hey, thank you.
There's one more review here.
You're just a little corny. Super
corny. This is written by I Value the Unique Angle. Brilliant, 5 stars. I really like this podcast. Very interesting and high profile guests. And Joel and Travis ask poignant questions that lead to a deep understanding of the topics presented. I highly recommend it to everyone interested in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, Litecoin, Ethereum, altcoins, and token generation events. Thanks for the keyword stuffing there. That's awesome. That's exactly what we look for.
We would like more of you to leave some keyword stuffing in your reviews. That would be great. Travis and Bitcoin and Joel and Ethereum and crypto and podcast, and
you could leave us any kind of stuffing. I'm like turkey and stuffing, ham and stuffing.
My God, you know what? I do love some stovetop stuffing from now on. Sometimes I will make myself some stovetop stuffing, not during Thanksgiving season.
So Travis, I have been making some notes on some things which I feel like all our listeners would benefit. We've never done a show where we just kind of go through how to keep your crypto safe, to my knowledge, and how to not fall for scams. And I've been making some notes on the plane back from being with my family. I cranked through a bunch of notes, and I want you to look at it. And you guys are going to get some great content here in the very near future as we cover some of these much needed topics, because you got to be safe with your cryptos. There's too many people getting ripped off and falling for common, easy to spot scams. But you know what? I've fallen for them before, because you should never, you know how they say don't drink and drive. You shouldn't do crypto or NFTs when you're sleepy or drunk or stoned. I know you would never buy NFTs if that was the case, because you like the wacky weedness there. But
I don't smoke nearly as much as I used to back. After about episode 500, after episode 420, I slowed down.
By the way, it is 420 today. This episode comes out.
It is. And I'm pretty sure that I will have some marijuana today at some point. Actually, I'm going to Snoop Dogg on Friday with my son. I'm here in town, and Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube and Warren G are playing. And we got, so what's funny was I I had tickets to the Super Bowl, right? So they didn't go to my Chiefs didn't go to the Super Bowl. So I sold them, got money into my StubHub, used that money to buy tickets to go to the Final Four in New Orleans.
Mhm.
Well, I bought my tickets, and then they gave me my Saturday tickets, but they never gave me my Monday final tickets. So I called them up on Sunday, the day before, and I was like, yo, where's my final ticket? They're like, oh, sorry. And they're like, we're going to find it for you. I call them back 4 hours later. They still hadn't found it. So they gave me a refund of half of what I paid for those tickets originally. Well, Monday's game, the price is way cheaper because there's no longer 4 teams. There's only 2 teams. And so I ended up getting way better seats for me and my 2 kids. We got really good. We were in the 300s, and we were probably like, because it was a football field, we were like at about the 40-yard line. So we were like really close. We were probably at about the free throw line, really, on the east side. And I spent like $600 less. So I had $600 in credit. So I was able to use that to get Snoop Dogg tickets. So basically, I got to see the Final Four, and Snoop Dogg got thrown in for free.
Nice. What a deal.
Yes, I'm gonna bring a big fat joint to that one. You can't go to a Snoop Dogg show without.
Tell him that we've got VIP for his. There's only 1,000 of those VIP passes for his sandbox, and we're 2 of them. So
actually, I think we're 4 of them because I have 3.
Oh, you got some, and John Lee Dumas has a couple. So we're gonna commandeer the entire sandbox.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, guys. And gals. We like all of you, crypto guys and crypto gals. And if you're unsure of which you are, that's fine. We love you listening to. We welcome everybody here at the Republic of Bad Cryptopia.
I heard that some people actually listen to us while they're trying to go to sleep at night. I had a lady come up to me and say, I listen to you and Joel when I'm going to sleep every night. I got this eye mask with earbuds in it. Shout out to Mackenzie. And I was like, are you serious? How is that even possible? How are we soothing?
Here, I'm gonna help her. Stay mad!
Who's bad?
The Bad Crypto Podcast is a production of Bad Crypto LLC. The content of the show, the videos, and the website is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. It's not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice of any kind. You shouldn't make any decisions as to finances, investing, trading, or anything else based on this information without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional financial advisor. Please understand that the trading of Bitcoins and alternative cryptocurrencies have potential risks involved. Anyone wishing to invest in any of the currencies or tokens mentioned on this podcast should first seek their own independent professional financial advisor.
Fire!
Okay, that was mean.
That was good. Alexa, stay back.
Siri, hey Siri, end this podcast. Hey Google, play the next episode of the Bad Crypto Podcast.
Hey Siri, go to Pornhub.com. Search for midgets and corn and thank me later. Stay back.